New scene. Okay, so get a sculpt. And just copy that. Don't really need the grid. We'll actually make this longer, and we'll make it kind of like an arm. And we, oh well, oh, that was weird. We'll have this be the body, that'll be the arm. A work of art. Oh, we've got two arms, yay! And we'll control these using the R2 and L2, which I think was the control scheme in LBP. I only played LBP 1 really. I played a little bit of 2. It's been a long time. So let's just use a controller sensor, and we will use the L2 and R2 to rotate these around. So we'll do that using connectors. So if we grab a motor bolt, stick it like that, stick it like that, move these here, rotate that like that, so that this can move round in that direction. That moves around in that direction. Now, if we just let it run, then they'll just go crazy and rotate around. However, let's just turn this bolt off. And so that we don't have to worry about it, let's turn off collision. Okay, so let's make a value slider and plug it into connector position. So if we give this a position, it will try and get there. So from 0 to 1, that's like the full circle. If you just want it to be from like pointing there to pointing there, we can add some limits. So let's just pause time. So from there to there, let's say, and it's currently down there, then we can set a value like that. And if we didn't have this value plugged in, this cycles per minute would be accurate. So I think every second it's going there and then there. And if you slow it down, then it will take longer to make that same cycle. But if we plug this into here, you'll see what is actually happening is this is setting the speed it rotates to get to a desired position. So I want it set to 0, and it will take this cycles per minute is for this full cycle. So if you did some maths, you could figure out what the actual rotational speed it is going at. But that's all it's doing. It's trying to get to. Oh yeah, I guess there's a negative. Let's try. Aha. So the middle is 0. That's -1. And that's +1. So if we made this a huge number, then it will be pretty much 1-to-1. Like that. Cool. So if we just plug R2 into there and move that wire, now we need to set it to remote control. So now when I'll add my special controller display. There it is. So in running time you can see the controller. So then if you look at the R2, it's a bit small, but as I'm pulling it, it's pushing the arm up, and then when I let go, it's going back down to the 0 point, which is there. I wonder if that affects. No, it doesn't. Okay. So we actually want it to go to a -1, so we'll use a signal manipulator. and just map it so that we're getting 0 to 1 from R2, but we want it to go from -1 to 1. So now it will do that translation for us. To wire it through there. Play time now. Oh. Oh. Don't know what that's doing. So if we set this to be 0 to 1, let's see what value it's getting out. Oh, so that's working okay. Let's try grabbing that. I think let's try that. Oh, I think what's going on is because the signal manipulator is a fat wire, it's got some other math stuff going on which is messing it up. So so there's a couple of ways of getting around that. One is to put it through a splitter. So this is the positive or negative signal, the actual value. So we know it's always between 0 and 1. So we could just take that. So now it will just be mapping a single value instead of a fat wire, and that works fine. Or it looks like this does the same thing, value slider. But you have to be careful to have enough range, otherwise it will clamp to some range. So like that. So now it works. So that's just using R2. Let's do it for the other one. We need to turn this back on and do the same setup. Grab L2. Don't want those wires crossing, so I'll do that. And plug that into the same thing here. Make this some big number. Whoa! Let's try adding that again. By the way, I'm a firm believer that just adding stuff again isn't actually useful. But, oh, it's probably because it didn't have the limits on. But for quickness of testing, it's definitely quicker to do that sometimes, like if you're just trying to demonstrate something to someone, than to actually take forever figuring out what's going on. Okay. Well, that is really, it's trying to move really fast. Maybe turn off gravity. I think it just doesn't like moving that fast, so let's give it a break. Yay! R2, L2, R2, L2. Oh. Yeah, because I'm in edit mode, if I do L2 on that, it starts grabbing things, and R2 on that. So I was in play mode. Yay! So you could add this kind of thing to your to a puppet maybe, but you probably use like a keyframe or something to raise the arms. Yippee!